Okay, there we go.
Mhm.
So with that, I will introduce Todd Marriott. He's our facility director. Let me introduce myself first. I'm sorry, Sue Alverson, the development director at the National Home. I'm getting familiar with most of you here and have met a handful of you in person, so we love that. Hope everybody's staying safe. With us tonight too, we have Megan Mitchell she's up in my left-hand corner, and she's our communication specialist. So with that being said, we put together a PowerPoint for you, and Todd's going to go over that, and then we'll have question and answers, and it can be about anything that you have questions on. So with that, I'll ask everybody to mute unless you have a question, and Megan's going to put up a PowerPoint, and Todd's going to dazzle you with all of his knowledge.
Or
Real
baffle
quick,
you
Sue,
with,
can you make me the host? If you go down to the bottom to participants.
Uh,
that would be the top for you, Marilyn.
oh, I'm not seeing it. Invite.
I think when you go to participants, you should be able to
Yep.
click on and then more and then make host. I think.
Oh, it says I'm it. How do I make you the host? Okay, say that again.
I think if you go to, I'm sorry about this, guys. If you go to participants and should be, you know what? Can
Make
you,
host. I got it.
you got it? Okay.
Yep.
All right, now we can share screen.
There we go.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And gotta close out a couple things here. And oops. Well, give me a second to. Sorry about this, guys. This is a newer version of PowerPoint. And I just need to figure out how to start the presentation.
What happened?
A Zoom call that I was supposed to do.
Okay, well, can everyone see the screen okay here? I'll
Yes.
let Todd go ahead and get
No.
started talking while I figure out how to get us into the
Who's eating
presentation.
TV?
Oops. Okay, Todd, go ahead and start.
I'm trying to get a hold of Teresa on my walkie-talkie to have her send me some of those nachos, but she won't pick up her walkie-talkie.
Hey, it's been a busy day. I'm still at work, so give me a minute and I'll be back. I have to meet with a student.
Well, you have a computer, you have a cell phone and a walkie-talkie. So yes, you are busy, Teresa.
I'll be right back.
No problem. I'd like to welcome everybody to sunny, warm Michigan, particularly the VFW National Home for Children on a very, very cold Thursday evening. I kind of liked it better, the original screen where I could see all of you at the same time, but I guess we'll make do with what we're given at the moment. But as you can see, I guess from the very first screen or shot on your screen, my name is Todd Marriott. I am the facilities director for the VFW National Home for Children. I have been employed at this wonderful facility for 34 years now and counting. I have met some of you that I see on the screen and have not met others, but I hope you make arrangements to come up here and see us sometime, because we always love to have new visitors and make new friends. I'm assuming since you are here tonight, you are interested in about what we do here and would like to support what we do here, and that is very much appreciated. So thank you all for taking the time to be here tonight out of your busy schedules. And we'll try to get through this. I like to talk. Sue and Megan can tell you that. So I'll try to keep this as brief as I can, but there's a few things to cover. I don't know, Megan, are they able to ask questions at at any time through, or you were asking them to wait till the end?
We'll have you wait until the end because we'll let him go through his whole PowerPoint and then we'll just open it up for FAQs at the end. Or
Okay.
Q&A, I mean, at the end.
Okay. So, that's my intro. You know who I am. I am responsible, along with my staff, for the upkeep and maintenance of all of the buildings and property here at the National Home. And it's a very, very big undertaking that we couldn't even begin to do without the help and support of people like you, because it's a very costly operation to run, because it is a very big campus with lots of buildings to maintain. So again, we couldn't do it without your help. So thank you. You want to hit the next slide, Megan?
Did you want to talk about the campus?
I thought you had a slide for that. So
I do. I have that slide up. Can everyone see the slide that shows the aerial shot of campus?
no,
No,
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
just your cover page.
All right.
Yep,
Can you guys,
just my name.
can you see the page now? You seeing it change?
Nope.
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna stop screen sharing and start it back up and see if that fixes the issue. Okay, can everyone see the screen?
There we go.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm not sure what was happening when I was in the presentation, but let's start the
That's okay.
presentation. back
That's
up.
okay. We'll start from here.
Can you see that okay? It's got a aerial shot of campus and a breakdown of some of the buildings that we have here.
Yep.
Okay, all right, Todd, take it away.
Okay, so in a nutshell, you can see some of the things that we'll cover tonight, and further on down the presentation, we'll go into more in depth on some of those. But again, for those of you that have been here before, know that it's a very sizable campus. The buildings themselves sit on approximately 50 acres. The National Home owns over 625 acres total. We have 42 single-family homes on campus. We have the Montana Farmstead with all of their buildings on the very south end, which is about a quarter mile away from our campus. That's a beautiful site. We have a museum, we have supportive structures, like Megan said, community center, health and education building, guest lodge chapel, water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant, administrative buildings, transportation center, a training center, just lots and lots of stuff to oversee and maintain. You can click on the next one.
All right, can everyone see the photo of the staff?
This motley crew here is my current staff, which at the moment is a little understaffed. I am in trying to hire at least one more position, if not two. But what you see before you, I am on the bottom right. And then I have 3 full-time maintenance personnel immediately standing in front of me. And then the lady standing directly behind me is Pat Cotter. She's my administrative assistant that you can call anytime, Monday through Friday, and ask information about facilities from Pat. And she'd be more than happy to assist you with anything that you need. And then the 4 ladies standing to Pat's right are full-time custodians. That's the current facility staff. Eric, I'll go back. Well, Eric, I'll go back real quick. He's on the leaning against the wall straight across from me. He is the maintenance supervisor of that whole group, and he is also a Army veteran himself and an alumni from the National Home. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah.
That's the Montana Farmstead that I said is located about a quarter mile south of our campus. There is a house there that typically staffs a resident, not a resident, but a staff housing as a caretaker of that particular property. Currently, Eric will be residing there soon with his family, but there's several outbuildings on the property, storage. Also, program runs a 4-H program that is centered out of the farmstead. And typically the 4-H program there involves dealing, raising and training and showing pigs, and also raising and training and showing rabbits. So that's kind of what is the real activity at the farm.
I said, how do you train a rabbit?
Sit, rabbit, sit. I guess, I don't know. We have, again, it's just a beautiful, beautiful campus. It's a beautiful piece of property. Lots of rolling hills, woods, swamps, lake, rivers, hiking trails. You can see that was part of the scout cabin, that one picture. Yep, there's a lake down around the scout cabin area that has fishing opportunities, opportunities for picnics, and just enjoying that region. And it's kind of the home base area for where our 3 miles of trail systems start as well. Those are on the bottom of that slide. Those are, that was kind of an Eagle Scout program that marked those trails for educational purposes. And again, it's just a beautiful area to walk and take in if you're out here. We have other recreational facilities as well. You can see we have a ball diamond. We have a tennis court area. We have a little physical fitness area to the bottom left, and we have a greenhouse. Typically, where the ball area and the tennis court area and the physical fitness area is a place that we refer to as Cootie Field. It got that name years and years ago because typically anything that was built in that area was built with funding from the MOC and the MOCA. So that's why it's referred to as Cootie Field. Upper left, that's one of the larger children's playgrounds on our campus. That was actually built with funding provided by the Ladies Auxiliary from the Department of Illinois. Thank you, Mike McGrath.
Yes, sir.
And then there's another playground to the upper right of that. And then the playground lower left, again, that was a product of money provided by the MOC and MOCA. That's located at Cootie Field as well. And that cute little girl on the bottom right is a playground that is at our oh gosh, I still say Ladies Auxiliary. I apologize. Like I said, 34 years here, it's hard to get that out of my vocabulary, but I'll do my best not to say that. It's the auxiliary EEC building, our nursery, for those who don't know. Go ahead, Megs. The slide in the upper part of that. The National Home, again, like I explained earlier, is a small city and it's run like a small city. We have our own water treatment facility, which is a slide on the upper part. And that large tank is actually 4 tanks combined into one on the left. Those are commercial grade iron filters. And then there's 2 tanks across from that by the blue pipe that are you can only see one, but there's 2 that are exact same size. Those are commercial grade water softeners. You have to have a license through the state of Michigan to operate that facility. not only the treatment side of it, but the distribution side of it as well. I currently hold licenses through the state of Michigan to do that. I oversee those daily operations. I don't physically run it anymore. Basically, Eric, whom I mentioned as our supervisor, he's the daily operator of that, and he's working to get his licenses through the state as well. Currently, the bottom slide is our wastewater, part of our wastewater treatment facility. Those are actually 1.8 acres apiece sewage lagoons that, again, you need to be licensed by the state of Michigan to operate that system. And again, I am also licensed through the state of Michigan to operate that system. And again, I don't do the daily operations, I oversee it, and Eric is mainly the daily operator, and again, currently working towards his license to operate those facilities. Again, Mr. McGrath, you guys can take credit for that wonderful John Deere backhoe in the upper left-hand corner. Courtesy of the Department of Illinois and their donation and their auxiliary donated that 4x4 backhoe. The vehicles on the upper right are part of, well, it shows 3, but we received 7 of those minivans total through the Campbell's Soup Label program. And currently Campbell's no longer offers those vans in their program. So we're not saving labels for any more new vans. I don't know if they're saving labels for anything else, Megan.
The Campbell Soup Labels for Education program actually ended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's done. Bottom left is part of our vehicles. We have approximately 20 vehicles in our fleet of vehicles, and they have a wide variety of uses, as you can see, from a minibus to minivans to work trucks. The truck on the bottom right is the result of an appeal that we sent out a little over a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, Sue, if not longer, for donations from across the country to help pay for that brand new 4-wheel drive truck with the plow. We just took delivery on that about 2 weeks ago. So the timing on that was perfect. It's going to get a lot of use, hopefully not too much in the snow department, but it'll get lots of use over the coming years. We have vehicles that some of our residents can loan. We loan to our residents from time to time. If their current vehicle is in the shop for various repairs, they can borrow a vehicle out of our fleet for a certain period of time. And then the other vehicles, staff might use them to run to appointments, or some are maintenance vehicles, some are custodial vehicles, and some are historical values and aren't lent out at all. And when I say that historical value, we have a few old fire trucks in that fleet as well. House sponsorship. And like I mentioned earlier, we have currently 42 single parent homes on our campus designated for the families, and they are sponsored by a wide variety of states, auxiliaries, MOC affiliation. There's an MOC, MOCA house. We have Department of Europe sponsors one. We have the Department of the Pacific sponsors one. Obviously, not every state sponsors one because there's only 42. There's a few states that sponsor more than one. Illinois has 2. Pennsylvania has 2 currently. One is sponsored by the Department of Pennsylvania. The other house is sponsored by the auxiliary from the Department of Pennsylvania. California currently has 2 homes. And what that means when you sponsor a house is you sign an agreement with the National Home to pay for everything having to do with that house. And what I mean from that is basically from the curb inside if this house that we're looking at, which is Massachusetts right now, for example, there's a tree to the right. If that tree needed to be cut down for whatever reason, the Department of Massachusetts or whoever that sponsor is agrees to cover the cost of cutting down that tree in their yard. If those shutters need to be replaced, Massachusetts would provide the funding to replace those shutters. Yada, yada, door, roof, chimney, sidewalk, furniture, appliances, windows, bedding, kitchen utensils, washer and dryer, anything that has to do with that house would come out of the funding provided by that sponsor. Every single house, every single sponsor, excuse me, that has a house out here has their own separate account that I manage out of this department. I will send out quarterly reports to all of the sponsors to indicate, you know, what the level of activity has been over that quarter, and it starts with a beginning balance. It shows all of the donations received to that particular house, who they were from, what post, what auxiliary, or if they're anonymous, they are listed as anonymous. It'll show the amount that they donated. It'll also show all of the expenses that were occurred against that house over that quarterly period, and then it'll give an ending balance. As a typical rule, that report is sent to the department quartermaster on the VFW side, the department commander on the VFW side, the department national home chairman on the VFW side, with a copy going to the district trustee from that state. And then on the auxiliary side, it'll typically go to the auxiliary secretary treasurer of the state. It'll go to the department president of the state. And then I have a hard time keeping track of, is it the VSO they call them now for the auxiliary?
The National Home Chairman and the Buddy Poppy National Home Chairman.
Yeah.
I think it's the Buddy Poppy National Home Chairman. You're looking
Okay,
for.
well, that's who the report should go to on the auxiliary side. That being said, pretty much anybody can have that report sent to them if they let us know that you want to follow it and maintain it. So I know, like during junior vice orientation, when I give this speech or presentation, a lot of juniors will sign up to want to get that report sent to them throughout their time period in office, and that's fine. We just need to know, you know, your email address or where you want that report sent to, and we can add you on that list to get that pretty much for as long as you would like. So, but I guess you know, the main point I wanted to make is that communication about what's going on with the finances of that house gets sent out to at least 7 different people on a quarterly basis. Okay. VFW ladies auxiliary sponsored buildings. There are several on our campus. That beautiful building in front of you is our health and education building, obviously with the label on it. It was originally built as a hospital and run as a hospital until the 70s sometime. But it is no longer a functioning hospital, but currently serves as the home base of operation for all of our case managers and program staff that work directly with our families. That's what that building is. The community center is also an auxiliary sponsored building. That on the upper part, those 3 windows in the middle is a computer lab. The building upper, or the window upper right, is a older kids library. Window on the upper left is a younger kids library. There is also an education center or office upstairs where kids can come and adults can come in the evening and get tutoring if need be with state certified licensed teachers. The doors on the bottom enter into what used to be the old gymnasium, but now is currently we refer to it as an auditorium. There is an addition that was put on the back of that building in the early 90s that was a brand new full-size gymnasium with locker rooms. There's a full-size commercial kitchen added on to the back of that as well. And again, just a beautiful, beautiful building that gets a lot of use all seasons. It's a lot of things happen out of there. Go ahead, Megan. This slide is what we refer to currently as our EEC building, which stands for Early Education Center, or for us old people, refer to it as our nursery building. Families that come here that have kids that qualify in the age group that need that facility can have their kids stay there throughout the day for no charge. I think staff can also utilize it if there are available spaces, and that is for a charge to staff, but only if there's available spaces. But that's an auxiliary sponsored building as well. They paid for, when I say, you know, again, sponsored, especially these auxiliary buildings, not only did they pay for the construction of the building, they also pay for the yearly upkeep and maintenance of those buildings as well. Now, that money, you may or may not know, comes from your health and happiness fund. Your health and happiness dues for you auxiliary members that pay that to the auxiliary on an annual basis. That's where your health and happiness money goes to, is for the maintenance and upkeep of the auxiliary sponsored buildings. Go ahead, Megan. This building is our guest lodge chapel. Obviously, you can tell the chapel because of the steeple. The guest lodge part of it has 13 available overnight sleeping rooms. VFW and auxiliary members that are visiting campus, either on a state day or maybe you're passing through the area and need a place to stay overnight. If the rooms are available, you're welcome to rent those out for a very small fee to spend the night or two, whatever the situation may be. Families that currently reside on campus that might have other family members visiting them from out of state or from a long ways away can utilize those rooms to stay in while they're visiting family members here. Again, beautiful, beautiful rooms, renovated not too awful long ago, again, courtesy through the National Auxiliary. That's got a full-size commercial kitchen in the basement as well, which was recently renovated through funds available from the National Auxiliary. And that baby is brand spanking new and gorgeous, just gorgeous. So we have lots to thank our auxiliary for, and our VFW, but auxiliary pours a lot of time and money into those buildings. Was that it?
That was it.
Wow.
Does anyone have any
I didn't think
questions?
I'd ever shut up. So I guess that being said, like this screenshot says, questions, if there's any questions from anybody about anything, feel free to ask and I'll certainly do my best to answer them the best I can.
If we can, just to make this a little easier, do you guys see the hand raise function on the bottom of the,
Yeah.
are you guys familiar with that at all?
No.
Yes. It's under reactions.
Can't see everyone all at once, and I just want to make sure. It looks like Sue, I saw Sue's hand go up.
Yeah.
Will you exit the PowerPoint, Megan?
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Okay, it's okay. If you just go ahead. Does anybody have any questions?
I saw Sue's hand.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple. Todd, you referred to the water treatment plant and the wastewater treatment plant. For those of us who live in the country, are we talking about well water and a septic system or what? Or is this city water?
Well, it's kind of treated like city water, ma'am. We have two wells that feed that system. And so the wells feed the system, they go into the plant, the iron is removed, the water is softened, and then we send it out through a distribution system that goes to every single house on campus.
So it comes in from a well, but it goes out like a city system.
Correct.
Okay.
Two wells.
Two wells, yeah.
And
Well,
then
I'm surprised it's only two.
well, they're very, very big well. We can
Sure.
supply about 750 gallons a minute if we need to.
Wow.
Yep. And then if you were here in the beginning when it showed the ponds, those are wastewater ponds or lagoons, they call them, or they call them settling ponds.
Right.
That's where all of our wastewater goes to. It's a very, very efficient system. It's a cheap system to run. All of the water from campus flows there and is pumped up into that system where we discharge it twice a year. Once in the springtime, we get rid of it, and once in the fall, we get rid of it. We just completed our fall discharge. It gets discharged into the Grand River, which is right next to it. That sounds kind of nasty to some people, but what I can tell you is prior to discharge, those the cell that we're going to get rid of or the cell that we're going to discharge, we isolate it so nothing can go in there whatsoever for 2 weeks. And then all the little bugs and creatures, Mother Nature takes care of all the bad stuff and everything else settles to the bottom. And then basically what is being discharged into the Grand River after test, mind you, because we have to have it tested first through to make sure that we meet the goals of the state and our permit. That water, if you put it in a gallon jug, is crystal clear. Crystal clear.
So the stuff that settles to the bottom stays on the bottom and all you discharge is the water off the top of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Essentially?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense
Yep.
to me.
And it's
Sounds
very,
like you got it.
very, like I said, it's very, very efficient. It's very, very clean. And the stuff settles out over the bottom. We just had those cleaned out, probably close to 10 years ago for the very first time since they were constructed in the early 70s.
Wow.
So it takes a long time.
Sounds
for
like
those-
a good source of fertilizer though.
Well, when we dredged them out, they went into a tank and then we plowed the material into our farm fields. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Milwaukee's been doing it for years.
Yep.
And then I have one other question and then I won't bother you.
You're fine.
You mentioned when you were talking about the houses, you said that we are, and I know this, we are responsible for everything, but you mentioned things like bedding and stuff.
Yep.
Which I guess I never thought of. Does that mean when the residents come, all they really need to bring is their clothes and their toiletries? That's it?
Yeah. I mean, basically,
They don't need to bring any bedding. They don't need to bring any dishes. They don't need to,
well, we provide dishes.
yeah, need to bring their food.
Isn't it fair to say, Todd, that we provide what they need? I mean, we've had families come in
Yeah.
all different situations with
Yeah.
moving van, with stuff, that they didn't even want to use the furniture that was in the house, to
No.
they need everything.
Yeah, we
So-
we will provide what you need.
Okay.
And typically a lot of families that come on campus, especially these days, like to bring their own beds. Not everyone, mind you, but a lot of them do,
I understand.
which is fine. We'll remove the beds that are in the house to accommodate their beds. But I don't want to remove a whole house full of furniture to accommodate their furniture, couches and chairs and washers and dryers and all that stuff. if they've got that much stuff, we ask them to store it and then utilize what we provide, but they're allowed to bring a few items if the house will accommodate it.
Right, okay. I mean, I guess that's something I don't know about anybody else, but that's something I never really thought about. I mean, I know they all come, but I never thought about what they need to bring with them.
Yep,
You know, when we travel, we take a suitcase with clothes in it and we stay in a hotel.
correct,
We don't think beyond that.
Mhm.
correct.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, it looks like Rebecca has her hand raised. Rebecca, you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I have two questions. One is that I'm the Supreme Treasurer for the Military Order of the Cootie Auxiliary, and I would like to have those reports to cover our house up there, since the auxiliary is assisting the MOC with that.
Okay,
Did you hear?
Yeah, I think
And
he's
then-
writing that down.
so Rebecca, I guess,
Yes.
do you have access to my email? We should have put that on the screen
No.
someplace, Megan.
I will put it in the chat right now.
So Megan will put my email address in the chat if you want to write that down, anybody. And if
Okay.
you want to receive those reports, just send me an email and where you're from and what state, and I'll make sure you get put on the list.
My second question is, I have heard that all the pianos in the houses have been removed. Is that correct, or is that
That is not correct.
that's what I wanted to
Some-
know?
Some have over the years
Okay.
and have not been replaced just because they're not as popular as
Yeah.
they used to be.
I think it's fair to
Um,
say we won't be replacing them.
Well,
Okay.
let's put it this way. We won't be replacing them with
Yeah.
those big old huge wooden ones. Now,
Yeah.
that being
Yeah.
said, if there's a child in the house that is currently taking piano lessons that we provide and wants something like that, typically we'll have some smaller electric versions around that we'll put in the house
Yeah.
for them to use. But
Right.
then they're removed after the child is left.
Yeah. I know the Missouri house had one, and that's got to be over 30 years now. And I'm not really for sure if it's even still.
Oh, boy. I'm trying to picture it in my brain.
It was back in the sunroom.
No, I know where it was at. I think it's still there.
It
I
was
think.
here before last. We didn't
A lot of
go
them
in
are,
there
you know, a
last
lot of
fall.
them, are just because, you know, there's such a pain in the butt not to
How
get
do you
rid
get
of,
rid
but
of
then,
them?
but then a lot of them are still functional too, you know?
True.
If we,
Yeah.
let's put it this way, if there's an interest, like I said, from the child, and we can't tune the one that's in there, it's just because we'll have somebody come out and take a look at it to see if it's even tunable. We'll tune it and get it fixed. But if not, then we'll make arrangements, because it's obviously no good. We'll make arrangements down the road to get rid of it.
Okay, let's move on to James Fox.
Yes, good evening. My
Good
quick
evening.
question is, how many homes are occupied right now?
I believe there are 26, I think.
Okay, so there is still a lot of room left.
Oh, yeah, there certainly is. And COVID had a lot to do with that, James, and keeping people at bay over the past couple of years. But a lot of the restrictions have left states and our area. And so we're doing our very best to refill them at the moment. So, and again, we need your help to do that as well, reaching out to families in need in your areas and to let them know that we do exist. And that's what we're here for. So, but yes, we have available homes at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
If I can jump in real quick, we went through the website. I believe that was last month. Megan went through, we updated our website. And there is the beginning of the application process it can now be found on the website. It's the eligibility piece. So if you do have people that you think could, it'd be good for them to look into our services, please have them check our website, and it's the help button, and it'll take them to that eligibility, or just have them call the helpline.
I
How
could
many
also,
Now, how many residents?
We have 55 children and 37 parents. So we have a total of 92 on campus currently.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to let everyone know that I also put a link to the page that is really good for you to refer people to is vfwnationalhome.org/help. I put that in the chat as well. Marilyn, you had your hand up and then it went down. Did you still have a question?
No, it got answered. Thank you,
Okay.
Megan.
That's because she's upside down. That's why it went down. Gravity.
Anyone else have a question?
I just pulled the latest report. We have 16 homes available. So
Oh,
look
wow.
in your
So you got more than
states, help us
26
find
sales.
those people that need us.
Yeah, Mike, that being said, Illinois 2 will be occupied starting next week. So that'll make both of your homes full. Illinois 1, they just had a brand new baby come into the world 2 days ago. So that's good news for the Illinois folks. Indiana just recently got occupied again. Who else came in? I think that's it, just recently.
I know, well, for Sue, I know in Ohio, we have a parent and 2 children in Ohio.
They're
I've got the
recent.
report if anybody's interested in your state. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, so like the Kansas house, does that mean that the only people that can use that house are people from Kansas, or is it available to anybody in need?
It's available.
It's
Go ahead,
available to anybody in need, Jim. And we take and just basically analyze the family that's coming in based on their individual needs, their size mainly. And so how many are in the family and what houses are available? Are there small kids? Is the house close to a road or not close to a road? Does the house have a fenced in playground or not? So we factor in a lot of decisions to where the family is going to be located, but just because the house is sponsored by Kansas, it's not just for Kansas folks.
Well, I didn't think that, and I'm just thinking that with 16 houses available, I mean, surely across the width and breadth of the United States, we might be able to find 16 families that really
Well,
need.
I would think there's enough need. I would think there's enough need across the United States to fill this place 4 times over.
Yep, I agree. I will.
Problem
I'll
is,
take that to heart.
well, I'm just saying, problem is we don't have an unlimited advertising budget. And
That's what we're here for.
That's right.
that's exactly why we're here. Like I said, we couldn't do it without your help.
I mean, like I told you, I got 3 life members, and I've always donated and supported the National Home. But I'm telling you right now, from what I've seen this evening, you've got a new disciple from here on out.
Appreciate that.
I should have been paying more attention to Dallas, since how he's going to be my national.
That's great. And also these sessions that we're holding, please share the links when we get them, when we send them out to anybody in your department that's interested. I mean, I think this is a great way to get together, and again, we'll be sending recordings also. And if there's topics that you want to cover, please tell us or want us to cover.
I'm way ahead of you on that, because I've sat through a lot of district level and department level meetings where program chairmen get up and talk about their report. We can do a better job of what I have my chairman report on during the department commander. You've got a new disciple. I'll be getting in touch with you folks. I guarantee it.
You can call us, and especially my office, anytime you want for any bit of information, no matter how trivial you might think it is.
Well, I tell you what I'm actually thinking of doing. Once I get out of the council administration position as past state commander a year and a half from now, I'm going to bug the next guy in. I'm going to talk to Terry and say, hey, I want to be your national home chair.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
You know, the one thing that, speaking of national home chairman, you know, in my experience over the years, is I know they're appointed positions, but there's just so much to know and learn about what we do here. It's kind of nice if you've got national home chairman in those positions, especially the workers, you know, the real promoters that stay in that position for more than 1 year. It's just, it's helpful.
Oh,
It's
I agree.
helpful.
I agree. That's if the position's open because Dallas does a great job. But I just, down the road, I mean, you got a disciple. I'm going to do what I can to help improve the
Well,
situation.
you come and visit us in person,
I will do that.
all of you.
We have a couple of people that are waiting to have some questions. We've got Dorothy and Marilyn. Let's go with Dorothy first.
I have two questions. One, are the families allowed to bring any pets?
Yes and no. Currently, I'll tell you currently what we're dealing with. You know, a bird, a fish, gerbil, no problem, as long as you maintain them. What we're having to deal with, I mean, obviously service animals, genuine service animals are a no-brainer. You know, that's a no-brainer, no problem. What we're having issues with somewhat are emotional support animals. And so we're kind of working through that legality with the state on whether we legally can have them or we legally can't have them.
Don't have to.
And at the moment, we've got some on campus that are our emotional support animals.
With
As
that
a
being
faci-
said, if
As
I can
that
jump
being
in.
said, as the facilities director, I'm not a huge fan of them just because I've seen, you know, the damage that can be done. And just because some people have a dog or emotional support dog or emotional support cat out here doesn't mean they're all bad animals and cause damage. But I've just seen enough over the few years that we've had them to make me not a fan of them.
It's the
So-
ones that aren't properly trained, and we actually just solidified a visitor policy, and we're also going to be addressing it with visitors that we have on campus. Of course, trained, certified service animals are fine, but emotional support animals, we're not going to allow on campus anymore. So you can help us get that message out too, especially for those of you that come visit us for state days. And it's not that I mean, I'm sorry.
I just want to clarify, the policy that we have that we are strictly enforcing moving forward is regarding guests on campus. So when we have
Correct.
state days and events, we have people coming here, we are strictly enforcing that only properly trained and documented service animals are allowed on campus. As far as what Todd is talking about with the residents, it's kind of in flux right now. We
Yes.
do currently have emotional support animals, but that is subject to change in the near future. But this
Yeah.
policy is regarding people coming onto the campus as
Correct.
guests.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
speaking
thank
just for
you.
the visitors.
Yeah.
I
just
have
wanna
one,
make-
Go ahead, Dorothy.
one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of immediate needs do you have across the campus right now? Is there any needs that are specific that need to be addressed quickly?
I'm gonna have Sue leave the conversation for this answer because she'll beat me up tomorrow.
Yeah, if you let
She
him
doesn't- she
go, we'll
doesn't-
need a
Sue doesn't like it
lawnmower.
when I go rogue. She
No,
doesn't like it when I go rogue. No, I mean, thank you for the question.
Yeah,
Quite honestly, the best answer I can give you right now, Dorothy, the immediate need, and it's typically the ongoing need, are general funds.
Yeah.
General
we-
funds pay for the water, the heat, the insurances, the maintenance and upkeep of other buildings that aren't sponsored.
Yep.
One
thing that we did during COVID, or what it made us really do, is really take a look at some of our special projects. And we have to be careful, if we have, some huge special project, but we don't have enough money to fund the day-to-day operations, the National Home, you have to have that general fund money.
Correct.
And just keep in mind that we are, that's our executive director's job to manage that money in the correct way. We are audited by an outside firm. We're very, very careful how we spend the money, but yes, general fund. And then if you want something a little more direct with the families, we have a fund called Family Support Services, and that supports different services for the families themselves. It could be that, therapy or counseling, support, education, that type of thing.
Okay.
That
that
being
answer your
said,
question?
Dorothy, that being said, also Sue has got basically a whole list of special projects. If you want to view what those projects are and maybe pick and choose something that fits, your needs and your budget, she's got a list of those, and you can just get a hold of Sue and you can talk about those specific projects with her.
Yeah, I have anything from life coach counseling or education for some of the case managers that costs, I think it's $7,000 or $8,000, to items on the Amazon wish list. You can buy, something for $10 on there. So we have the whole gamut. So I'd be happy. I'll have Megan put in my email address in the chat box, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody about their area of interest.
I thought it was very good that you also put in on that you can through the Smiles program on Amazon. I don't know how much goes actually back to National Home, but if we all would do that, that would I think at some point be some very good help, and it really costs the buyer nothing.
Exactly.
So I think the more we can advertise that, the better off we are.
Yeah, we did a big push, especially again during COVID, because everybody was ordering from Amazon, and it doesn't cost anything because you're buying the item, and it's Amazon is giving the 0.5% back. I want to say that our last quarter check was maybe like $1,600 for a quarter, and it adds up.
And if we had everybody doing that.
Yeah. Sue,
mean,
didn't I give you the amount last time? Do you remember what that was? Sue, do you remember? I think you asked me that question.
And I have it written down. Hold on a second.
All right. Sue's prepared, but I think I gave her the amount from the beginning. But yes, I appreciate you saying that, because that's something everybody can do.
And I think that we should advertise it every time that we get an opportunity. Plus, in any of your newsletters, I think it ought to be a standard little blurb in there, because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't cost the buyer anything, and it helps the National Home. And if you're already buying off of Amazon anyway, it's good to have people help. And it just isn't VFW, because if you have daughter-in-laws, son-in-laws, aunts, cousins, whoever uses Amazon, they also can help.
That's right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it looks like Marilyn has her hand up. Did you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Bye now.
Oh, hang on just a second, Marilyn. Mike, are you saying something? Okay, Marilyn, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, one of my questions is, the Paulette House, we picked that up, Missouri picked that up 2 years ago in 2019 to sponsor the Paulette House. They were in need of some repairs and so forth. Todd, has all that been addressed in the Paulette House?
Not all of those repairs at the moment, Marilyn.
Okay.
Weather is playing a part of that.
Okay.
I also lost 2 important staff members late last summer who were able to do that type of work. And now I've got to contract out a lot more stuff and just everything is kind of backlogged right now, but it's on the radar. Yes.
Gotcha, gotcha. And one other, I just want to make a comment. And it looks like Jim Ratcliffe has got off the call. But as far as getting the word out, I have in the past, and I will be doing this again through the C of A. We're having our C of A week from this Friday. I am I'm having packets. I'm putting together packets for my service officers to have this information for the National Home, because oftentimes the veterans in need, the veterans families in needs, the first person they go to see is a service officer.
Correct.
So in your states, if your service officers have the information on the National Home to share, that's just more people getting the word out. I'm the chairman for the state of Missouri, but one person, you can't be everywhere.
Nope.
So, the thing is to think of other places, other avenues that those things can be posted and can be given. And it's just going to be another tool for the service officers across the state to use.
Absolutely.
That's why we like to have people like you in that position for more than 1 year, Marilyn. You're
That's
exactly
right.
right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Found the number.
Did you?
Actually, the one I found is the one you gave me that was as of last March, and that was 11,650.
Okay, so that was from the beginning of the Amazon Smile. So it's, I feel like
Okay.
it's like, right?
And I think, and I looked and I couldn't find it quickly. I'm sure you sent me an email update that was closer to just over 14,000.
That's what 14
Yes.
came to
Yeah.
my mind. So was Dorothy still on?
Sue, the figure I remember from the last quarter of
Yeah.
2021, just in that quarter,
Mhm.
I had was $1,580.70. And then it went
Okay.
to that total of that 14,000.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
That's great. We'll be sharing again to this group. We put a document together, how to help the National Home. It focuses on, talks a little bit of just the rough couple, last couple years, and then it talks about the family support services, and then it gets into Homefront Hero, which is the monthly donor program, and then the Amazon wish list. And I just need to do a few little tweaks on that, and then maybe we'll send that out to the group.
Good.
Okay.
That'll be, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Anything else?
Rhonda, you look like you're,
I did raise my hand, but she just answered that in regards to the Homefront Hero. Because I think that is an excellent program for you guys. I really do, and I support it. I am one of your monthly donors.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an
Yes.
important program.
Mhm.
It's the,
I
it's
like
the
it.
best way for us to fundraise, because, and
Mhm.
then keep in mind, then you all aren't going to get an appeal every month either, because it reduces that's the selling point. Well, thank you so much. And we've got some nice buck slips for that. If anybody wants those, reach out to us and we'll be happy to send that so you can pass those out. Thanks, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
Phil,
I have another question.
Phil's been pretty quiet. Phil, you got any questions? You're muted, Phil.
He has to turn his microphone on.
Turn your microphone on, Phil.
Let me see if I can.
There
unmute.
he
Okay,
is.
how's that?
There you are.
Okay.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
mean to- I didn't mean to call you out. You just look pretty quiet there.
No, that's fine. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm Phil Erickson. I'm a state chaplain in Arizona and National Home Rep. Okay, and I had the opportunity to come out and see Sue and company in October. I
Yes.
believe it was, yes. And anyway, Arizona at the last, or the state convention a year ago, voted that the state chaplain would also be the National Home Rep, and authorized an annual trip out to see you, which I fully intend to take advantage of doing that. And when we visited in October, I'm kind of with, was it Jim from Kansas? That, I would like very much, at least for my own personal benefit, to be as involved as I can. And, and I am pretty well acquainted with two of your board members, with Steve Van Bergen and Kim Sloan.
Excellent.
Yeah.
From Arizona. So anyway, I actually did know some of the information from the presentation, but you added a lot of detail, and I appreciate that very much. That's
Good.
That's things that I will be taking back both to the department and my own post. And
You can also take back, Phil, that we just recently had some work done in the Arizona house. Had some drywall repairs and it painted. And in February, it's going to get new carpet and vinyl throughout the house.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep, then it'll be ready for new family.
And actually, this was at our last at our winter conference. The C of A addressed the funding for the Arizona house, and actually it is very well funded at this moment. So anyway, we also are going to be we set a cap on the fund for the house, and anything over that is going to be going into your general fund.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You mentioned two trustees. We have a third trustee. He's with us tonight. He's up in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. Art Schuneman waving at you. He's our
Hi, Art.
district trustee out of warm and sunny Buffalo, New York.
With probably about half a mile of snow by now, huh?
We're due for about another 4 or 5 inches tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Better you than me.
Well,
Yeah, it just went through Ohio a little while ago. You're getting it.
well, the one blizzard I remember since I've been in Arizona dropped, a little more than a quarter inch.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Anybody
Any other
else?
questions?
Anybody else? Anybody?
I have another one. You knew I'd have another one.
Well, of
Yeah.
course.
And it's because I'm not sitting in this room alone. David has a question.
Hi, David.
David.
First of all, hi, David.
Hi there.
Hi, David.
That was Megan. David would like to know, Todd, if you at this time have any thoughts towards future building, new buildings.
Well, that's funny. That was sort of discussed today. I don't have any future thought at the moment, but
Does the home have any?
our executive director certainly expressed that opinion today. Yes.
He's going to be a mover and a shaker, huh?
He's going to
Well-
be a mover and a shaker, and we're starting some work on a strategic plan, and he has some lofty goals that are going to be coming up. Yes,
When do we
so
get to
we're
meet
going to
him?
need y'all more than ever. I'm going to
Yep.
need y'all more than ever.
Michael Wilson is the gentleman's name, and he's a 27-year retired sergeant major from the Army National Guard. So
To moving. Can you have him come as a guest maybe one time so we can?
that's the plan.
Okay.
Isn't it, Sue? Don't you
Oh,
plan on it?
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
hoping next month, he's
Yep.
going to be doing the meeting for you guys.
Cool.
yeah,
Are we doing these
Yeah.
monthly?
So you
Are
can
these done
sit down
monthly?
and listen.
Yep.
yeah, we're Donna, I'm going to give credit to Donna. I mean, Megan and I talked about doing this forever, and Donna she just said, come on, she's in all her energy. And
Yeah.
so, and then we
Make it
asked
happen.
her, would it be okay?
Maybe
if
that'll
we
give me
invited
time to get right side up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I had a lot of fun. You guys were great.
Yeah.
I
It's
had
a
a lot
great
of
way to
fun.
meet,
I
you know?
I enjoyed it, and you can always bring me back by popular demand or unpopular demand. I don't care.
Yep, so I'm gonna get with Donna and see what her next scheduled meeting was gonna be, and then I'll see if I can get Mike scheduled on. So I highly recommend popping in and meeting him because he's a pretty amazing guy. We're pretty excited, pretty
Yeah.
excited.
That being
Yeah.
said, if any of you have an idea of maybe wanting to do a smaller version of this with just maybe some of your leadership or whoever, let me know and we can always set up a small Zoom with who you want to invite. You know what I mean?
Yep. If you want to go back through facilities or back through the website or fundraising, you know, anything.
Not a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to tell you, Sue and Megan and Donna, that we just had our midwinter conference and all the things that I've learned on our Zoom meetings were all part of my presentation. You made it so easy for me. It's like I
Good.
have to work.
That's great. Well, that's what we want to hear. I mean, this is what, you know.
Why we
We
do
had
it.
4 hours of schools of instruction that repeated every half hour. And I gave out more information and answered more questions than I ever did last year.
That's
Awesome.
great. That's what we're
Well-
here for. If you have any questions, if we can help. We have a new trustee in the, what district? It's Texas and.
Texas.
Texas.
Is it 5?
Mexico.
I
Yeah,
can't
she's from New
remember.
Mexico though.
Yeah, anyway, Shirley Frias is her name. And we got a request to talk at an auxiliary. And we're starting to reach out to our trustees to do that type of thing. And she's probably not going to be able to drive and visit, but I think they're going to try to get her to Zoom in. So, yeah, and one of us can help her if she needs it or whatever. But Zoom is, I mean, there's some good things that came out of all of this.
Yeah, we all learned how to do something, if nothing else.
That's right. That's right.
All of us with this color hair learned a new skill.
Any other questions? Hi, Angela. I see Angela popped on.
Oh,
Yeah.
there she is.
All right.
Okay, folks, again,
Hi,
I
Angela.
certainly appreciate all the time and energy you gave this tonight. And look forward to seeing those of you that have never been here before make a trip and pay us a visit. I guarantee you will like what you see and hear or your money back. And you know, again, we couldn't do it without your support and we appreciate all you do to help us. And stay safe, especially with COVID, and God bless. Call us if you need something.
Amen.
Is everything still open out there in Michigan, or are they closing anything down?
No, everything's pretty much open.
All right, the news here in New York said they just 1,000 new cases today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, our cases are still up there a little bit, but
We're just living with it now, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not
basically, I
going
think,
away.
what's that?
It's not going away.
No, it's not gonna go
not
away.
soon.
No.
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 Well, then I'll see you out there next month then.
All right, Art.
We'll be here, God willing.
Yep. Everybody
Thank-
stay safe. Thank you.
I got
Thank you.
that.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.